Good evening, everyone, and welcome to my 10,000 subscriber live stream. Sounds good to say that. Subscribers are not really that important on YouTube, and not as much as views, but it's always a psychological thing, and it feels good to be among the top 10% of YouTube with that. So thank you very much for subscribing. Welcome to another Sunday live stream. I've seen some already started chatting there, and I'm quite sure you're waiting for something as well, because I did my little guessing game, and I'm gonna wait a little bit for doing that. First of all, I want to say hello to those who've written already. Hi Dude, hi Katrina, hi Jean, hi Fallout Clash of Clans, hi Valerio, thank you for that super chat already. Hi Mark, Biden will be pissed with Boris for Northern Ireland. Yeah, I think so too. Hi FSM is the dog, hi all shorts. Nice to see you all again. First of all, usually live stream has to be a little bit more fun, but of course this week, even if I do a video on that tomorrow on my European channel, I still want to say a few words about Prince Philip, of course. Although we all expected that in the not too distant future, it's really sad to hear that he just passed away, because he was when he visited Germany, that was always real fun. Some of you will remember the time when he met Helmut Kohl, our chancellor of that time. He was the first chancellor I really realized as chancellor, because before that I was too young. And I do really remember the visit when he greeted Helmut Kohl with Guten Tag, Herr Reichskanzler. People always said that he must mess that up, but I think he had so much humor that was on purpose. And so that's something we're going to keep in mind, I'm quite sure. And many other people know a lot of examples of that. And he was definitely something at the side of the Queen. The Queen really could rely on. So I still want to say I'm sad to hear that. I hope he can rest in peace now after a very long and very exciting life, I must say. And next Saturday there will be the funeral. Best wishes to the whole family, and I hope I didn't depress all of you, but I think that was time that I say something like this on my first live stream afterwards. But after that, I think we should have a fun Sunday, and we should enjoy another Sunday live stream. At least I do. It depends on you if you do enjoy these live streams. I do anytime. Otherwise, I wouldn't do them every Sunday. I could just take a day off. So there are more people here. Let's have a quick look again. Who's there? Hi Henk. Hi Joe. Hi Christian. Hi MS. And hi Cash Dummy. And hi Dutch Uncle. Cash Dummy, you were in my lottery box. You were not the only one with a date somewhere later than you, but I thought I'd do still a lottery in that case. I didn't say the first one with a certain date would win. But before I do that, before I tell you what the prize is, you might still win. There are not too many lottery tickets in here. That was just the first half of the guessing game. You can still take part on the post I left there if you just put in the number of subscribers you think I will have on New Year's Eve at 2400 CET. And Cash Dummy, I couldn't see what you were writing, but Nightbot must have liked that. You shouldn't. Yeah, Nightbot is set on not allowing caps lock, so please don't use caps lock too much. Some slip through because they are more regulars, and Nightbot is can make a difference somehow. So, but he's very, very strict about that. Oh, but coming back to that, on the post you can still write how many subscribers you think I will have on December 31st at 2400 CET. You can do that until the 19th of August. I don't tell you now why, but it's the date you can put in. I will put that in the post tomorrow, because today was the official stop date. And thanks for all who congratulated me on the 10,000 subs. It was really nice. And you do get some more benefits when you reach 10,000 subscribers on YouTube. You've got some more things you can use, and that's nice as well. It will take a month or so until that will settle in. But you always, with the steps you do here, I don't know how many of you know these steps, you get some perks from YouTube, some more stuff you can use. Oh, Conservative, nice to see you. Nice that you made it this week. And thank you very much for your congratulations. But first of all, we had our guessing game, and there will be topics later on, so don't worry. The prize, I said, it's a nice prize. It's quite a unique prize as well. For those, or for the one I will pick from the lottery box later on, or from my lottery mug. It's not a mug with a mug on it, but it's still a mug. The prize is my EU and more memo game. I picked that one, to be honest, because I haven't written, I've finished writing all the rule books for the games yet. And for a memo game, everybody knows how that works. I don't have to write one like this. So this is a unique one. First of all, you see it's my old logo on it, because this is my prototype. So this will be the one and only. So whoever wins this will have a very unique piece. And the second thing is, it's a small one. You also get invited to my Discord server. It's not that full yet. I'm still a small channel compared to many others. But from time to time you get some information from me, or there are some very nice people there you can have a chat with if you like. It's still small, but it will grow. And so those are the prizes, and especially this unique one. And now I'm gonna pick one of the pieces of paper. You can see it's not that much in there. And I just blindly pick one of those. And I won't tell you what you can win at the end of the year when the second half ends, but you will see. But there's still another nice prize you can get. So still haven't seen it. I'm just wondering if the person is online as well. And the winner is, I don't know if you can see it there, Cash Dummy. Congratulations. You have won the challenge. So congratulations. To get everything sorted, there is an email for business only on my channel info, also bei Kanalinfo. And for this time you are allowed to use that one for this purpose. Just send me your email address, please. And then we sort the rest out. But for the rest, it's only for business purposes. All other emails that don't belong there will be deleted, unread, so don't post there. That's really only for business. And you could miss more Brexit cookies or whatever, or lamps, if I can't be reached there anymore. So don't do that. I'm sorry. So, but congratulations again, Cash Dummy. This will soon be yours, and when I send you an email back, when I ask for your address where to ship that to, and I'll send you a link for the Discord server as well. And thank you, Conservator. I have to put up Norbert Peisen, thank you very much for the super chat. At 100,000 subscribers, the TIE fighter on top of the board is at the lottery. Well, it's not that easy for a political channel to reach 100,000, so I'm not even dreaming of that at the moment. Although Phil got very close to that for a political channel. That's not using comics or something, you know what I mean. No entertaining or something, just politics. And so, well, I gotta think about that, but still thank you for that super chat. And Conservator, thank you. Yeah, I really have to put in one for all shorts. Visit his channel. It's very different from mine, and that's all shorts. I hope you don't mind if I say this when we, because it was in the public comments. It's good that there are so different channels that are working so differently. Nobody likes everything, and so everybody can find something he or she likes, and that's a good thing, isn't it? Even if we talk about the same topic in general, it's a good thing. Some people hate me like hell, I know that, and don't watch me, but maybe they like all shorts. And of course there are others that like all 4, 5, 6 of us who are talking on that topic sensitively, let's put it that way. Cash Dummy, thank you for your super chat, for your celebration super sticker. You're very welcome. Bitte sehr und viel Spaß damit. So, but enough lottery for today. Cash Dummy and I will sort that out, how he gets his prize. And once again, everybody else can, and of course Cash Dummy as well, everybody can take part in the second part of the game. You already put something in, but please be realistic. There were some very insulting ones, thinking that in more than half a year I would reach 11,000 subscribers or 10,500. I'm more optimistic than that, to be honest. And just saying, 1 year ago I had 500 subscribers and 30,000 views on this channel. Now I'm at more than 10,000 subscribers and 4.1 million views or something. So a lot can happen in that time. Just saying. But let's get back to our topic. I was talking almost a quarter of an hour already about other things. No, all shorts, you're not too sensitive. No, definitely not. There were some questions, not for the live stream, but all the time there are questions put in comments under my videos. I can't answer them all, so I don't do that. But there were some I really wanted to comment on, and I thought it's something for the live stream, because some are really funny if you put them in relation. And one was, what happens to a man's word in his bond and a good old handshake to work things out? And that came from a hardcore Brexiteer. To be honest, I have people I do kind of deals with. I don't need a contract. There's enough. A handshake is enough. That's here in my what we call the village, although it's part of a major city here, but it's the northern part, and we always call this a village. Yeah, there a handshake is enough. If I look him in the eyes, give him my hand, and that's enough. On a bigger scale, I don't do handshake, I do contracts. But in this context, with a government and a prime minister who doesn't even stick to deals he signed and ratified, what is a handshake and a word of that man worth? So I thought that question was really funny. And another one was, that's always coming up again. What is your problem with UK voting democratically to leave the Union? I don't have any problem with someone voting democratically to do whatever. But I have a problem with a campaign that ended like this just because it was overcrowded with lies. That's the first part where I really have a big issue with. And that's why I don't stop talking about those lies and about the realization that all those lies are being proven wrong now by reality. And the second thing is, it wasn't binding. First of all, they didn't decide anything. That referendum didn't decide anything in legal terms. it was a non-binding referendum, and even the Brexiteers' big friend Nigel Farage always admitted that. The referendum itself never would have any consequences. Parliament decided to trigger Article 50, not the referendum. So that's the point where I'm always so up for details, because there's a lot of stuff being thrown through the air all the time, and which is just not true, or they're fiddling with the truth. I guess many of you have seen Max's video this morning where he took on a video of Jeff Taylor. He nicely showed how Jeff Taylor was meddling with the truth, so it's not so obvious lies. And that's exactly what's happening since the referendum campaign. At some point they started with just blatant lies. But there's a lot where just twisting a bit on truth to make it work as they need it. And first of all, another nice number. 70 are watching live at the moment, so welcome to everyone. And I don't mind that it's not hundreds or so, even if I have 10,000 subscribers. It's Sunday afternoon. I knew it's a bad date for a lot of people watching, but I'm still happy about everyone that joins me here. And I explained why I have to do this on Sundays. So it will continue like this, and of course on other days I might have more, but I'm really happy with the crowd I have here right now. So that's why I want to skip through some of those. No, I don't want to skip. I go through some of those. But first of all, I want to have a quick more look who's there. With so that number of people, I can say hello to more. Hi Dermot. Hi Eddie. Hi Francois. Hi Ian. Hi Ian. 2 times Ian in a row. Hi Wolfgang. All shorts, what about my lederhosen? I usually just wear lederhosen once a year, and last year I didn't, and I'm not sure if it will be possible that I do that this year. And all of you can now guess what time of the year I do wear lederhosen for once in a year, because I'm Westphalian. Christian, you know, I made the joke I'm German, not Bavarian, but that was just from my Bavarian friends. We are meddling with that thing a little more often, but I'm Westphalian, not Bavarian. No, Eddie, it's not Carnival. It's not Carnival when I'm wearing this. Carnival is another point. Most of the time in Carnival, I'm wearing a suit or a smoking even, and very formal stuff, because I'm the vice president of one of the Carnival clubs here. No, Christian, I won't wear a Tirol hunter hat. Tirol is either Austria or Italy, and I am up in the northwest of Germany. So the maximum I will wear is one of my base caps from my merch store, because from the new one I'm testing right now, at least I can get base caps there. And it must be barbecue season, by the way, because people started to order barbecue aprons on my second merch channel today. That was fun. By the way, there's 15% discount at the moment. It's always in the pinned comments under the videos if you are interested in some of those. But that was just the very short one. Let's get to another question. After I answered Christian again, you're Danish and I have a Tirol hat for hunting. Yeah, but I don't do hunting, so I don't have one of those. And when somebody gets the idea when is the one time of the year I'm wearing lederhosen and it's not Carnival, still write it, I might see it. So, but let's get to another question. Doesn't Scotland need permission of the PM for holding an independence referendum? That came up several times when I was making videos on the new Labour Party and about the Scottish elections at the moment, because the SNP and Labour and the Greens are all pro-independence. It's a very difficult legal question. Generally, a lot of this was discussed before. Generally, I think, first of all, they can do a non-binding referendum like the Brexit referendum anytime. If the Scottish Assembly decides that, it will be. And on the other hand, they can do a binding one. That's another question, because even Boris couldn't do, or not Boris, but Cameron couldn't do a binding one without a lot of problems. That's why they did a non-binding referendum that time. It was legally very difficult to get a binding referendum. And so it would probably be a non-binding referendum, but with a non-binding referendum and a big majority in the Scottish Assembly, then we get independence. That's it. And before I get deeper into this, Wolfgang, Oktoberfest, of course. We have Oktoberfest here as well. One of the sponsors of my carnival club is a brewery, and they have a great Oktoberfest in their brewery, and we are always invited there, and we are going there every year, and that's a great thing. And last year, of course, we couldn't do that because of COVID, and this year we don't know, so we can't think that far already. We put everything on hold, but we didn't cancel everything. So that's the situation at the moment. But let's get back to Scotland, because I've seen new independence polls for Scotland, and despite that, what I said last week about the first polls with Labour, where they didn't get a single seat in the regional elections, in the regional lists, they are not running for constituencies, but for the regional lists. I said that in my video yesterday already. They would get 7 seats, and the SNP would get 65 seats, and the Greens, I guess, still another 8 seats. That is, in a Scottish Assembly with 127 seats, I guess it was, 80 seats. That's almost a 2/3 majority. And it's a much bigger majority for independence than Johnson has in the House of Commons. He's celebrating his big majority there, but if you look at the percentage of 80 seats of 127 compared to what Johnson has, this is a bigger majority. And so that would be a very decisive pro-independence majority. And I don't think what he wants to do against this is that happens. And so I'm counting SNP, Labour and the Greens together there, because in case of independence, they are all on the same track. And that would be, with the polls we have at the moment, if they come true, and they look very, very realistic, I must say. Because 65 is very few for the SNP if you look what they were supposed to get a few months ago in the polls. And so 80 seats for independence, that is a definite referendum within the next 2 years. And so we've got 4 weeks until the next election in Scotland, and that's going to be really, really interesting. And that all was caused by Brexit. Without Brexit, the Scottish wouldn't think about this right now. Sorry, still so dry here. But later in the video, I want to do some Brexiteer myths again, but I want to pick one of those. I know I've got several on Scotland, then I do them later together. Okay, first of all, Brexit. That is one Brexit consequence. Another consequence, of course, is Northern Ireland. I don't want to talk about Northern Ireland today in detail. I made a lot of videos about this, and it's a very sensitive issue. And I'll have a video on that tomorrow morning again. And but this all could be prevented people are right there, if the UK would join the European Economic Area, or as Max said recently, rejoin single market and customs union, or what he said this morning, don't leave. Brexit didn't mean they have to leave the single market or the customs union. But it wasn't that Brexit insisted on that. It was the people behind Brexit. The whole purpose of the thing was to get away from EU standards. And the European Economic Area would mean to be subject to all EU standards again, but without a say. Some countries decided to do that, like Norway, Liechtenstein, and Switzerland. But that's exactly not what the UK does not want. And they would be even worse off than being a member in this case, because they couldn't veto anything they don't like. They would have to accept everything the EU is doing without having a say. So this, for me, is the most unrealistic version, because that would probably get the ERG to riot if Boris Johnson would decide to apply for membership in the European Economic Area. No, that I would love to see that, but I don't think so. So but this time take the water, not the coffee. The analytics thing doesn't work properly today. With several super chats, but it's not showing them. Oh no, but another super chat. Social Blade predicts 100,000 subscribers in 7 to 8 years. With your average video output, that would be around another 10,000 videos by then. Good luck. Well, first of all, you will have realized today that I reduced that again, because I've got some more work to do than the last weeks. So in the close future, you probably only get my regular output of videos, not as many as I did in the last few days, because that was a hell of a lot of work, and I still have to deal with some other channels as well. I don't want to neglect completely. I had to neglect my Lego one a bit, because there was so much to talk about Brexit. Yeah, but Social Blade, I quit that, by the way. They predict that on the numbers of the last weeks, but that was a very low 4 weeks in case of subscribers. But as I promised, I've got some Brexiteer myths again, because they're coming up all and all and all, over and over and over. And one I have to mention once again is that they are still spreading the fake news that Article 16 has been triggered by the EU. They will never listen. But for those people who might not have heard it, because of course you are now live with 97 people, but many are watching that afterwards. And so I use the occasion to say this: Article 16 has never been triggered. Article 16 of the withdrawal agreement, the EU thought about that, thought about triggering it because of the whole AstraZeneca trouble there. But they did not. They decided against it. So it has never been triggered, because several Brexiteers use it against the as an argument against a lot of things, or for actions Boris did, like his unilaterally extending transition periods and stuff like that. No, it's not an excuse for that. It has never been triggered. And even if it has been triggered, it would have been under the circumstances of the withdrawal agreement. That's why they didn't trigger it. And another one, of course, that's always coming up. There's all the paperwork, there's all the red tape, because the EU wants to punish the UK for Brexit. And they're using Northern Ireland to punish the UK for Brexit. No, that's another of those lies they're spreading all the time. And they really try to spread. I had one today, I blocked him. He really copied and pasted his nonsense under every comment of one video today. So everyone who commented under this video got a reply with the same copy and paste long nonsense he posted there. And he did that so many times that I did not only delete the stuff, I blocked him already, because that is just spamming and maybe even some bot or something, but that was so annoying. But they're trying this all the time. There are people that try to spread lies and fake news all the time. We talked about some channels even, or I talked about this in videos, and then I saw a lot of your comments on that with some robot channels, I call them. They are really still trying that, and people unfortunately do fall for it. And that's why I always talk about these things in my Brexiteer myth section always. Another one, of course, is back to Scotland now. Oh no, I've got another Northern Ireland one. It's Labour's fault there is no backstop. That was another nice one I read recently. So Theresa May wanted the backstop. She didn't want the border in the Irish Sea, because that was what the EU offered in the first place. She said that would be really bad for the UK, and that was the worst possible thing that they could pick. And now it's that what Boris Johnson wanted, but she, for that, wanted the backstop. And the ERG and Boris, they all didn't want the backstop. They made sure the opposition, and it's called opposition because it's their job to oppose the government. It wasn't the opposition's fault. The vote was 344 to 286 votes. And that just means that Theresa May's majority didn't vote for it. So it's not the fault of Labour, it's not the fault of the SNP, it's not the fault of the Lib Dems or anyone else there. They didn't get their own people to vote for that. And that is the reason why the backstop didn't get through. It's the job of the opposition to vote against government if necessary. And that was at a time, if you remember, where Brexit could still have been stopped by Parliament. The opposition had another aim. They were not united. That was one of their problems. But some of them wanted a second referendum and some wanted to stop Brexit. But none of them wanted Brexit, like we have it now. And so, of course, they voted against the Brexit bills. But it was the job of the government to ensure their own majority, including the DUP, by the way, that did vote against the backstop. Sorry, guys, that will happen more often. I'm really happy when those drying machines are gone from our basement. They are still drying our basement from the flood weeks ago. And so the air in the whole building is so dry that when I talk so much in a row, it just happens. I'm sorry. There's no way to prevent that. But now let's get back to Scotland in a second, but I just want to have a quick look. I saw someone mentioning the AFD. The AFD is the right-wing extremist party here in Germany, for those who don't know. They had the Dexit, so the German exit from the EU, in their program until the last European elections. Before that, they took that out. And now they have a fight inside the party between the fascists and the fascists in suits. And the right-wing extremists in their party have won a vote this weekend when they assembled for their party program elections for the next general election. And the right-wing extremists of that party, you really have to imagine that one, have managed to get that through the assembly. And so now the AfD is pro-Dexit again. So they want to leave the European Union, although their own party leaders are completely shocked by that decision, because they know they will not get anywhere in the public with that. But they made more decisions that will not help them that much. But those people who try to get there in charge are real fascists there. And another one was what I think about Markus Söder being chancellor. It's not about Söder being chancellor, it's about the alternatives. Who will be the chancellor candidate for the Christian Democrats will be decided in the next days. It's not decided yet. Two prime ministers of two states in Germany, and two of the biggest ones, North Rhine-Westphalia, that's my home state, and Bavaria, have said they want to run, or they would run, for chancellor. And tomorrow the party leadership councils are meeting, and they will think about who should do it, and that's what I'm waiting for. Of course, I can live with Markus Söder as chancellor, as well as, and I can live with Armin Laschet as chancellor. I have my preferences, but we will see how that ends. But whoever it will be, he will be the candidate for the whole Christian Democratic Union and Christian Social Union, and they will fight for them. So let's wait and see. But now let's get back to Scotland, because there are more Brexiteer myths about Scotland. The once in a lifetime referendum. If you can show me a legal document that says it was a once in a lifetime referendum and cannot be repeated before the next 30 years, please let me know. I haven't found that one, and I'm quite sure it doesn't exist. So that's the excuse of people who want to prevent another referendum to always say it's a once in a lifetime referendum. The point is that the circumstances around the referendum have completely changed. When the last referendum took place, people voted to remain in the UK so Scotland can remain in the EU and not be out of the EU and have to reapply again, or have to apply for the first time then. With staying in the UK, they could stay in the EU. Secondly, when they voted in that referendum, there wasn't anyone knowing that the UK would leave the EU. Nobody knew that Brexit would happen. And so this is a big change of circumstances. And if the circumstances change, you can ask the people again. If you do stuff like that, you can do that. Sorry, I just saw a car. For a second I thought, what, Alan Carr? No, I watch him, he doesn't watch me. No, it's Simon Carr, so I just was a bit puzzled for a second. And another thing they have against the independence referendum in case of independence is Scotland is another financial black hole for the European Union if they join the EU. Scotland hasn't independently taken care of its finances for 300 years, as far as I know. Nobody knows how good Scotland would do after that. There will be problems. There will be bumps in the road and stuff like that, definitely, if they get independent. But nobody knows how well they can take care of a full budget. What they can do now is just add on existing taxes and stuff like that. They can't reduce as far as I know, below the amount Westminster decided. And they don't have that much of a decision. It's just a little bit of, here you have some trinkets to play with. It's not real decision making there. And we will see how this will end up when if they can make the whole decision themselves. And everybody said the same, sorry to my Irish viewers, about Ireland when they joined the EU. everyone was talking like this about Ireland as well. And where are they now? They're a very successful country. They are a net contributor to the EU. So congratulations. And we will see, in case of Scottish independence, where Scotland will go. And of course, we talked about Northern Ireland, and I doubt there will be a tunnel between Scotland and Northern Ireland, but a lot they talk about the border in the Irish Sea. And it's really funny how naive some people really are that have no clue how markets work, how economy works, and they're putting stuff in. Because there are some that say there's no reason for custom checks can be done at the Republican border, and UK trade can go back to normal. Have you ever heard the words Good Friday Agreement? The whole trouble we're going through at the moment with the Irish Sea, with the Northern Ireland Protocol, is because of the Good Friday Agreement and to keep the peace in Northern Ireland. What the loyalists are doing right now, as I said, I'll have another video tomorrow morning. But that is the point for the whole thing. Nobody wants a hard border on the island of Ireland. And it is the island of Ireland. But there's always another fake news that Brexiteers spread because of that Irish Sea border, and that is that it separates Northern Ireland from Great Britain. And that is just a blatant lie. I just have to allow one comment that YouTube was too strict for. It's not separating Northern Ireland and Great Britain, because the border is just for goods. The border is not even stopping services. It's not stopping people. It is only there for goods. The checks are for goods entering Northern Ireland from the UK. Services are not intervened by that. People can travel unhindered. It's just goods, and that doesn't separate one part of the country from another. Especially when that just means that in the entry ports you have checks of those goods for certificates and everything else. So what does that hinder the men on the street? They don't even get anything of that, except the problem with the people that don't manage to do the paperwork. They are not used to, of course, but everybody knew that this will come, because if you become a third country, you will be treated as a third country and you get more red tape. Everybody knew that. Many were lying about that, but everybody knew that. Even Johnson, I think he's that intelligent that he was lying instead of not knowing that, because that would be really embarrassing. So, and because of that, they always tell, by the way, the EU wants the border in the Irish Sea to break up the UK. What is possibly breaking up the UK is Brexit, not the EU. Brexit is the reason why Scotland is now wanting another independence referendum. Brexit is the reason why calls for Irish reunifications are getting louder than before. And Brexit is the reason why thoughts about independence are with many more people in Wales than ever before. It's not close to 50% like in Scotland or Northern Ireland, but the numbers have grown remarkably in the last years because of Brexit. And if Scotland would leave, if there's an independence referendum, they decide to leave, and they will leave, I'm quite sure that in not a too distant future, we will see Irish reunification with all the problems that come with that. And in that case, when Wales is just alone with England, we will have to see how that will develop. And I would say the numbers will go up quite remarkably again in Wales. But they still blame the EU for everything. On Max's video this morning, where Jeff Taylor was blaming the EU for everything. Again, I even said Jeff Taylor would blame the EU if his neighbor and his neighbor's dog would drop some poo in front of Jeff Taylor's house. That's again the fault of the EU, because probably the dog breed wasn't prevented by the EU or whatever. And they even blame the EU for stirring up riots in Northern Ireland to punish the UK. No, the riots in Northern Ireland are stirred up by some extent by the DUP and their behavior. Now, this weekend, they play on a different tune, but they are stirring up that with their fight against the Northern Ireland Protocol. They are members in this parliament that voted for and ratified this Northern Ireland Protocol. They voted against it, but they joined Theresa May's government to get Brexit. And they have a lot of responsibility for that. And with what Arlene Foster, for example, is saying all the time, she is stirring up the riots in Northern Ireland much more than anybody else. And the most funny thing is that people still believe about the border in between then Ireland and Northern Ireland, the legal border, I mean, that you could do this with technology like it was sold to them by the Tory government a long time ago. And they still believe you can do them with technical measures. Yes, you can x-ray trucks that are going through there. You don't have to check everything by hand to know if there's people in there, if there's drugs in there, if there's cigarettes in there, whatever. But you can't x-ray health certificates. You can't x-ray rules of origin certificates and stuff like this. You have to check, you have to have the whole paperwork. And rules of origin will play a big role on this border because, once again, we have a lot of transition periods at the moment. And even the automotive industry has a transition period until the end of the year. Yeah, the cars from the UK that come into the EU are not checked on the rules of origin until the end of the year. So we haven't seen the full extent of Brexit, not talking about everything that comes with the unilateral extensions of Boris Johnson of the transitional periods for the Czechs on the UK side. They even haven't started, and the exports from the EU to UK dropped dramatically recently because of Brexit, not because of COVID. Because if you look at the worldwide trade of the UK, you know how much is Brexit, how much is COVID, or at least you can approach the amounts. And so we haven't even seen the full hit yet. That will come next year, plus the transition period running out for the clearing in the city of London. That will then, for most part, will go to the to continental Europe. And of course, the classic unelected EU bureaucrats. That is always one. They haven't dropped since 2015, and they are really not willing to learn. I know that, but still, the unelected EU bureaucrats are more elected than their own prime minister, because for the unelected bureaucrats, at least, a parliament voted. In many countries I know, the parliament votes for the head of government. That happens in the EU as well. The president and her complete commission have been elected by the European Parliament. They have been proposed by the Council, yes, but they have been elected by Parliament. I have not seen Boris Johnson being elected by Parliament. He could have been with the majority he has now, but that's another problem with first past the post. But even that didn't happen. And should I start talking about the House of Lords? Our second chamber here, and the most bicameral parliaments we have in the Western world, they are elected and not announced by anyone. As you know, I make on my global channel, I do the global basics short videos about every country on this planet. one after another. And the only other times where I hear that one chamber of the parliaments in a bicameral parliament is appointed instead of elected. That is countries that I wouldn't call democratic usually. And so then from that point of view, to stand there and to say the EU is undemocratic and the unelected EU bureaucrats is just ridiculous. I have to laugh every time I see that, if it weren't so sad that still so many people fall for that. But for that, I really can suggest you have a look at my old videos, where my video quality was crap, I know, but I made one where I put the electoral systems of the UK, Germany, and the EU next to each other, and then have a look which is undemocratic. And there was some fun thing all the time. What the EU does now is childish retributions, like triggering the infringement proceedings against the UK for breaking the Northern Ireland Protocol, and going to the ECJ courts, which Great Britain don't recognize anyway. That's so much fun. They really fell for that. Yeah, thank you, Lord Frost. That is a member I'm thinking too much about. So I left him out this time. The ECJ is still in charge for everything that has to do with the withdrawal agreement. They signed up and ratified that the ECJ still has a say, at least for another 3 years, because it will stop when the Northern Irish Assembly will veto the Northern Ireland Protocol. They can do this every 4 years. First, I don't see that happening, and second, until then, the ECJ is responsible. And if they don't recognize a verdict of the ECJ, then we have another breach of international law. It's getting kind of a habit. And the fun one is that they always turn it around the way they need it. Britain has not sunk to the level of Europe in terms of slowing and blocking imports. Well, no responsible country would ever leave their borders open and let everything in. And so does not the EU. It's not a country, it's a community of 27 countries, and they have a single market they want to protect, and that's what they do. They protect their market, and all that everybody that calls the EU protectionist. Yeah, thank God they are. Thank God they do what they're supposed to do and protect our market. Otherwise, the 27 wouldn't be as well off as they are now. That's one of the purposes of the EU. That's one of the purposes why it was founded. Not the only one, like many Brexiteers always want to bring up. It was never just a trade community. From the start, it was not just a trade community, and was never supposed to stay that. But they never wanted to believe that. So they joined something they never understood. They didn't understand it before they joined. Those people didn't understand when they were a member, and they still don't understand it after leaving. And I'm afraid those people never will. And of course, we're blocking imports of stuff we don't want. We have security certificates, we have health certificates, we have rules of origin for that. So we would be stupid. Of course, we have trade agreements with others. But why should we make it easy to someone to buy cheap stuff in China, ship it to his country, and sell it to ours? If we want that stuff from China, we can get it ourselves. And on the other hand, we don't let our market be destroyed by stuff like that, especially with all the certificates ignored. Even with all the checks, you sometimes find stuff in the cheap stores here in the discount stores or the €1 stores that where I have big doubts if they really have the certificates that are printed on them. But still. And there's one thing they always want me to do, and probably Max and Phil and all shorts and bowler headman and oh, I'm so sorry. I just forgot one name, the Scottish one. Will get to me again. I'm watching this video. When I have time, sometimes I do that too. Don't have that much time watching videos. I have to film more and write more, but sometimes I do watch some. For research, of course. And we're all always told, you lot should really move on. Brexit is done. First of all, the official Brexit is done, but that was more than a year ago on January 31st, 2020. IndyCar, thank you. That's what I mean, and Graham Hughes, of course, as well. I was watching the live stream on Max's channel on Friday where he was talking to Graham Hughes. That's a good one, I have to tell him. So, yeah, I enjoyed that too. So, official Brexit was on January 31st, 2020. The transition period with leaving the single market and the customs union was on December 31st, 2020. But Brexit is so not done because the TCA, the Trade and Cooperation Agreement, doesn't cover everything that needs to be covered. That was just the most necessary stuff. They are negotiating a lot of details for other areas for quite some time. And that will continue, especially with the behavior of the UK government. That will continue for a very long time. And we will be, not to forget, elections in Scotland and all the stuff that's coming after that. So the whole Brexit consequences is not done. And so I'm quite sure that all of us will stick around and make videos on that for years to come. Brexit, the gift that keeps on giving. Yeah, that's something I read all the time, and it's really true. And so Brexit will not be done for years. And there was one question I must have overlooked, but I still have that in my mind. What do you think about is it probable the UK will rejoin the EU in the coming years? The UK, from my point of view, definitely no. I don't see that for a very long time, and especially for one reason. The bigger question is there a UK in the next years that can rejoin? Because with Scotland gone, if that happens and a possible Irish reunification, there is no UK anymore. There is a remainder of Britain at maximum, or just even England. I dearly love Little Britain as a TV series, as comedy, but I mentioned that once in one of my videos with Little England instead of Great Britain. But that is a possible outcome of the whole thing. And it's not because the EU is working on that, it's because of the decisions made in the recent years. And so, before I see the UK rejoining, I would think that there's a Scotland joining for the first time, and maybe after a very long time then England joining. That is more probable than the UK rejoining, to be honest. So, quick look again. Mark hasn't blessed me. Tom, what are you talking about? I don't bless anyone, I'm not a priest. that's the only mean part about sitting here in front of the camera. I don't see most of the live chat, and I can't react to everything. It's sometimes really funny, but I always only get the chance after filming, when the video is processed by YouTube and when the live chat appears again, that I can read that. It's always fun. But I'm really good in calculating time today. It's right now 1900 CET, exactly 1 hour since I started. FSM is the dog. I can see you in a dog collar. You probably mean the things some priests wear. Our priests here don't wear them, by the way. Ah, Tom, that's why. Yeah, there's conservative is the only one that's blessed as moderator here, because he was really kind to offer that to me before I started this. So I'm really grateful, conservator. Thank you again for doing this today. From time to time I get a glimpse what's happening there, and so thank you very much for keeping an eye open for me, so I don't get so distracted by people writing stuff they are not supposed to write. I had to say this in a video I filmed for tomorrow again, from both sides of the aisle, so to speak. People, why do you have to insult each other all the time? Can you just talk in a civilized way? The people I mean by that know who they're meant. The rest is not meant by this. But it's really not funny. And YouTube is stopping about hundreds of comments every day. And they have a new thing. I don't know if it's new when you have 10,000 or if it's new generally. They are showing the blog comments, and then they have another section. I have to press, especially if I want to see them at all, because they are so bad of their language. YouTube doesn't even show them to me until I really press on the button to see them, because they say they're too insulting. And yeah, it's getting more and more. And so it's an emotional discussion, but you can be civilized still, can't you? So for everyone who is discussing a lot on my channel in the comments in a civilized manner, thank you very much. I really appreciate that. And it's really interesting for me to see your points of view, your opinions there. And I really appreciate that. And thank you again for subscribing to my channel if you have done so. And thank you for watching my videos. Thank you again, all shorts, for visiting today as well. Have a look at this channel as well. Have a look at Max's channel. Most of you probably will. And Phil Bowler Hatman. And we're going to see us again either tomorrow morning in my next video, because I'm now back to the normal 3 videos a day. 6 o'clock in the morning, at noon, and 6 o'clock in the evening. All my times are CET, by the way. I'm in Germany, so my timing is always CET, but the only difference is now that I always have to write CET when I put my times out. And have fun. Thank you very much for joining. Cash Dummy, don't forget to send me an email so I can get your prize to you. I hope you really like it. And for everyone else, have a nice Sunday. I keep it to an hour usually because it's Sunday. I have figured out how to put in some other stuff, as you can see with that here. So I'm getting better with the technology here. And maybe I will find some time the fun videos in between, so I can take a break and for 3 minutes and then start a little bit more. But it's on Sundays, I thought it's not that people want to stay that much, and so I always wanted to keep it at an hour or roundabout. So thank you very much. See you very soon, and don't forget the 15% discount on my new merch. And I'll be here tomorrow morning. Auf Wiedersehen.